Good evening. Hi, my name is Barry Selby. This is my daily Facebook Live. And before I start, let me just say I'm a best-selling author, speaker, and a relationship attraction expert, a passionate champion of the divine feminine, helping strong, successful women find balance in love, life, and business. This is Messages from the Masculine to Inspire the Feminine Heart, and it is number 191, counting down to 200. And this is actually part 2 from yesterday. I spoke yesterday about the definition, or should I say, what is partnership was the title. So this is part 2. And this one is, I was trying to what came through, and what came through is mutually assured elation. Because I figured mutually assured sounded good, and it's like, can't say destruction, so what would be elation? So let me break this down a bit. I'm already feeling what's coming through, but I wanted to just really touch in. So if you haven't watched my broadcast before, by the way, I do these daily, usually way earlier than this, but I was out at an event tonight celebrating Agape's 31st birthday, or anniversary today. And tonight, I had way too much sugar at the dessert party, so I'm a little bit bouncy. But I wanted to do this broadcast to keep my commitment of daily Facebook Live talks. So this is today's late daily Facebook Live. And I wanted to tag on from yesterday because I already had that flowing through my mind. So what do I mean by mutually assured elation? I want to speak more to the spin about purpose. I mentioned this yesterday to a degree, but I want to speak to it in a different way this time, because that's what's coming through. And by the way, at the end, I'll talk about where you can find my other broadcasts in case you want to see my other stuff I've talked about over the last 190 broadcasts. I'll give you that link in a moment too. But starting with what's present in the moment for me, which is where I usually start. And I was having a conversation earlier with somebody tonight, so of course it just inspired and spurred on this idea. I can say this. Sorry, I'm just like, which way to attack this? So let me start with my own story just briefly. For those who don't know, I wasn't always a relationship coach. I've had many careers before this. But the truth was I didn't actually have any clarity about my meaning and purpose and why I'm here. And my relationships suffered because of it. So when I discovered, through serendipitous means, that for a man in particular, our purpose, my purpose, comes before my relationship, it was a lightning bolt of awareness I didn't have before. It was actually through my teachings I did with David Data that spurred this, and in fact it's in one of his chapters in his book, one of his books, that talks about man's purpose must come before his relationship. That's the title of the chapter. It was a game changer for me, because up until that point, every relationship I'd been in would put the relationship partner before everything else. And I would pay the price for that, and so would she. So this is a wake-up call for the men, and a nudge for the women too. In relationships, the challenge that we face is that women think we should put them first, that we should be at their feet serving them. I did that in relationships. Didn't work for her or me. Also, there's this rule book somehow that if we have our focus somewhere else, we're neglecting our partner. Also not a good thing. So how does this work? For me, I realize, and this is true for men in general, is that men and our masculine are very singular in focus, very linear in focus, very directional, but also we're good at putting one foot in front of the other. It's hard for us to do one over there, one over there, and one over there. It's not easy for us to do that. The feminine, it is. So for us men, it's important to figure out why we're on the planet, what our reason for being is, our intention, our power, our vision, our desire to serve. And this has to be something that ideally taps into a deeper calling side of us and lands as a bigger meaning in the world out there. That's the true, for me, it's one of the true hallmarks of purpose. I, as I said, had 7 or 8 previous careers to the one I'm doing now. None of those were my purpose. And so when I get into a relationship, I would basically neglect my work for my partner. Now, that wasn't healthy, I know. But the thing was, is I didn't have enough of a investment in my work to not give it up for my partner. Now, I thought I was doing the right thing. But the truth of the matter was, she was getting upset because in fact, the last relationship I was in that really made things clear to me before I started this work 10 years ago, yes, 10 years ago, she pointed out to me without me having a clue what she meant at the time, but now I see perfectly, is that when she first was attracted to me, I was definitely directional. I was very clear about my beingness, because in fact she saw me in different volunteer roles where I was leading teams and I was running the show and I was making things happen, and that excited her because that was me being in purpose. But it was a volunteer role. It wasn't my real calling. It was something I just did. And so when I went to go into a relationship with her, I would just give that up in a degree. And so, and even when I was still doing that volunteer stuff out there, when I was at home, I didn't do anything. So she was getting more and more dismayed that I wasn't directional and strong and powerful and in alignment with my purpose. Now, I didn't see this at the time. This is all hindsight. But boy, I'm so grateful now, looking back, because if it hadn't been for that pivotal breakup, and actually the two before that led me to this, I would never have found this path. I wouldn't be on the work. I wouldn't be, one, aware of the stuff I now know, and two, so invested in it that I teach it and speak it in my own work. And it leads me. So to go back to the beginning about man's purpose, sorry, let me just reset that. So, man's purpose comes before his relationship, meaning that for us men to have a really powerful, successful, and thriving relationship with our partner, it helps if we don't put our purpose in the way of that, as in we try to do it at the same time as your relationship. Now, I'm going to have to do a couple of parallel tracks here. First of all, if you're single as a man, get really clear about what you're about. What's your purpose, why you're here, what you're doing. And put some action steps in place towards that goal. You may not be living it fully, that's fine. You may not be being clear what your purpose is, but if you're directional and putting your energy towards that, you're on the right path. When you then are in a relationship, keep that thriving. Keep putting fuel in the fire. Keep stoking the fire, as it were, to keep brewing that, building it up. If you know what your purpose is and you're living it, keep doing that. The thing about it is, when we men, as I said, are singular, one thing at a time. Once we have a purpose up to full speed, as it were, it's easy to maintain it and have a new relationship. It actually works pretty well for us as men. For women, just to quickly switch gears slightly, you have this wonderful gift, which is you get the ability to entertain multiple thoughts at the same time in your head. And you think we can do the same thing, which we can't easily. You ladies have the ability to be able to ponder different things without much distraction. In fact, you can juggle several things at once in your mind. And in fact, you can focus on different things in life, as in the multitasking, or as Alison Armstrong, one of my teachers, puts it, have a diffuse awareness to be able to do more than one thing at once. So you can actually be focusing on your purpose and relationship and something else at the same time relatively easily. Much easier than we can. So purpose for men comes first, because once we've got that, it's like spinning plates. Once that's spinning up to speed, we can then spin a second plate, which is relationship, easily. Now, the other part of that is, when we know what our purpose is as men, we don't put that weight on our partner. That's a benefit to you ladies, by the way. So we can actually have a relationship with you that is fully a relationship with you, and our purpose can function parallel to that, in addition to that, and it works. For ladies, you can actually be developing and working on both at the same time. So, to get back to the topic I started with, which is mutually assured elation, for want of a better title, when both partners are exploring or developing, or better yet, expressing their purpose, and this is the mutually assured part, is that you're supporting your partner's purpose, vision, and goals. That is an elevating experience in a relationship, and it's actually a very healthy way of being in a relationship. Now, one addition, not a caveat, but an addition to that is, if you're in a relationship, which is what I'm actually holding for myself, just to be totally transparent, where your partner and you have a parallel or overlapping or actually synergistic purpose, as in it works together. Oops, sorry, I just realized. I have to make sure that my phone is plugged in so that I don't drain the battery before I finish this broadcast. So, where was I? If you're both on the same page and you're living the same vision, your relationship can actually go beyond elation to a whole other level of expression. If you're both in alignment in relationship and in alignment with purpose, that's a rare gift. That's why I know it's challenging in some ways, but also I know for me it's what I'm clear about what I want, because the work I do and which requires a partner who's in the same page as me. So I'm just being very clear about my own intention as well as what I'm talking about for you. So that mutually assured elation is truly, for me, what I would describe it as, is the parallel, ideally overlapping or mutually supportive purpose work, so that you're not only you living your own purpose and your partner's living their own purpose too, but you also support each other's purpose. When you can do that, when you can really do that, it will actually change your experience, your relationship, and your life. And that is pretty big. So I'm just looking at what's going on here. So yeah, so I'm yeah, that's it. Take that to heart. And for men and women, you can clarify the pieces that work for you intentionally. If this makes sense, I trust it does. I welcome, and if it doesn't make sense, that's fine too. This is my intention to share this out. It's part of my work. It's part of my teach. It's in my book. I talk about this. It's also in a lot of my coaching work. If you need help with purpose, I can help you with that. If you want to find out more about it, or if you have questions about it, please put comments below. I welcome that. You can message me over social media. And I did say at the beginning, I'll tell you when you find the rest of these broadcasts. This is number 191 of a daily series of Facebook Lives, and I did get it done before midnight. You can find all of these on my website, which is barryselby.com, my name. If you go to the video blog, you'll see them all listed there from the latest to the oldest. And this one will be joining them shortly, once I sign off and I do some twiddling, or fiddling, should we say. It's also on my YouTube channel, as well as on my Facebook page, business page. These are daily talks about love, life, relationships, purpose, masculine, feminine polarity, and more. They're called Messages from the Masculine to Inspire the Feminine Heart, because ideally within them is always a teaching to help women become more empowered, inspired, and aligned to their feminine heart. And with that, I wish you well. If you have any questions, any thoughts, you want to reach out to me over social media, you can. And hopefully this will give you some food for thought. I'll be back in tomorrow, hopefully early in the day. We'll see. I've got quite a busy day tomorrow again too, so I'll try and get it done. And that's about it. Thank you for joining me. I wish you well. Take care of yourselves. And that actually is your homework. Take care of yourself, because you deserve it, and you'll make yourself more attractive to anybody else. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again tomorrow.